That's a foul on Takaya Rosenberger up underneath the basket. Coming into the game is Jasleen Lasley, and Aubrey Dolezal's coming back in.
Lasley, one of the three-point shooters on this team. She's been right there off the bench. She's come off the bench most of the time this year, and there's a foul on a shot by Townsley. But Lasley can shoot the three, and she's put some points up throughout different points in the season. So a bright spot, I think, with Kayla Heck graduating next year. You know, South Tama is going to be looking for leadership, and she's got potential for sure.
And you know, it's South Tama with this Emma Townsley going to the line and hitting a free throw. That's kind of, you know, maybe they're taking the spotlight off of her tonight a little bit, where she can go ahead, but you don't want to put her on the line because you got to be a good basketball player when you've committed this early in your senior year to, especially a program like Wartburg that has been, you get thrown into the fire in the American Rivers Conference real quick.
Lasley to the baseline. Air ball shot there. Good defense by the Bobcats.
And they've got shooters open.
Yeah.
This is 23. That's Zoe Jungi, and she's not afraid to shoot the ball either. She's a senior, and they're...
Nelson with the defense on the inbound pass. She steals it away. The putback. Hard to call that a transition bucket. They're really... It was, but...
the transition was she went from the left side of the basket to the right side of the basket, or the right side of the basket there.
Yeah.
But this it's impressive. This team is impressive.
They move the ball well. They're aggressive. They kind of know who they are. And, they're going to be right there. And, you know, as an 8th-ranked team, I think they're seeded pretty appropriately. I mean, they got 4 losses, but they came from a state championship last year. I think they could upset a team or two going into the postseason.
And they'll get up against tomorrow, I believe. Did I see
Waverly
that in the schedule? They go up to Waverly Shell Rock. They're hosting Waverly Shell Rock, so it's going to be.
Yeah.
That'll be a pretty good game.
Kayla Heck to inbound off of that timeout.
Come up to the ball. There you go.
Dolezal gets it, but
somebody
kind of trapped right there. Heck gets out of it. And Heck forced into a travel. Defense there by Nelson, and the Bobcats have it again here. We've had 2 buckets so far from South Tama. A couple of quick post field goals there by Aubrey Dolezal, and that has been it so far. South Tama, or I should say Benton Community, really has sort of ratcheted up their defense a bit, and that's been a problem for South Tama the whole way into this first quarter.
Moving the ball well, and Townsley is the one that's just moving the ball in towards the basket, leaves somebody up open, and they're just going to have them shoot.
Aubrey Kelly,
holy cow,
3 points. That's their sophomore there.
Jeez,
shooting it like she owns it. Paula looking for a shot, passes away. Lastly has to pick up the dribble. Defoe.
Kayla, get inside.
And Heck.
Yep. And she just has to force that.
Keep firing.
She's the senior leader, and she's earned the right to shoot. She's been playing varsity basketball since she was about a sophomore.
In and out for the three-pointer for Kelly.
She had to get in there. And you know, one of the things about it is with the South Tama team is Olivia Hall is bringing the ball up right now against Townsley. She can't get flustered because she is their best ball handler.
Yep.
And if she gets, she starts shooting, she gets hot, and can do what she needs to do. The South Tama should be in fairly good shape.
Lastly, off the mark on the long 2. Bobcats quickly back on offense. Townsley top of the key. 2-handed pass.
Almost threw that away.
Over to Kramer, back to Townsley. 3-pointer.
Yeah, watch out.
Through a double team, it's no good. Loose ball.
Lather, she didn't look like she was very comfortable shooting that 3-pointer. So if you can kind of keep her out there, maybe that's one of those things where she's used to driving to the basket and she's not comfortable shooting that 3-pointer. You want to keep her shooting it.
It's going to be a foul on Piper Nelson underneath the hoop. South Tama inbounds. And Defoe gets it across to Lastly. Now Heck, she's going to try 3 from the right side. Hard off the rim. Loose ball picked up by Lastly, baseline. Shot, no good. And here come the Bobcats. Ball recovered by Aubrey Kelly. Jungi finds Nelson open underneath the hoop. Good ball movement. Just the strength. And I mean, that's weight room strength right there.
Yeah.
You know, being able to move the ball like that and get the passes where they need to be on time.
It's coming through, and she's, you know, all of these girls from Benton, you can see, they just see the ball well. They know what their job is. Kayla Heck with the basket for South Tama.
First points of the night for Kayla Heck. South Tama with 6, but Benton Community in control here. Foul underneath the hoop as Townsley goes up for a shot. She's struck across the torso there by Defoe. That's going to be her second personal. Townsley good on the first shot.
She has 6 points, 4 of them from the free throw line. There looks like they're not even having anybody lining up, so the rebound, South Tama's got a good chance to bring the ball down. Gonna be working on a little bit of defense, kind of shutting things down a little bit for the Bobcats. There you go.
Kind of a slashing move there by Jasleen Lasley.
Yep.
First points of the night for her. South Tama to 8 now. Under a minute to go. Townsley gets the inlet pass from Kramer. Kramer with a 3. Hard off the rim.
Mark.
And Nelson gets a hand on it. It'll be South Tama ball as it goes out of bounds. 32 seconds left. STC try and get another bucket here. Madison Hitchcock in off the bench for South Tama. Holla to Hitchcock. Lastly tries that right side again, but really nowhere to go. And Kelly with the defense down low, strips it away. 14 seconds for the Bobcats. They're not going to bother with that. Go ahead and shoot the 3. McKenna Kramer from downtown. 4 seconds left.
Go. Keep taking that shot, Kayla. That almost goes in.
Kayla Heck's shot at the buzzer, almost good, but not quite. That takes us to the end of the first quarter. Benton Community up big here, 29-8. We're going to take a quick break here from some of our sponsors. We'll be back after this. Thanks for being with us on Trojan Country. All right, welcome back in. Darvin Graham and George Cuter with you here on the call as we're ready to start the second quarter of action in this girls varsity game. South Tama trailing 29-8. Seen a couple shots go through for South Tama, and I think on the average, I think we're looking maybe a bit better than usual, but it is hard to tell down this many points. Good shots and being paid. The shots they have, they've been patient on it. They're not lucky shots. They're just working the ball well. Kayla Heck down in the middle. She just got a good opening there and a good pass by Dolezal, but the shot just a little too hard off the glass. Bobcats with a couple of substitutes in here. Kayla Heck on the defense against Haley Suter. She's in off the bench for Benton Community. Also, number 21, Avery Kramer. This shot there by the Trojans. We might have a full set of reserves here. Yep, yeah. We've got a whole new bunch, and it's, you know, playing Waverly Shell Rock tomorrow at home. You can kind of guess they're gonna rest their starters because that game, you know, that's going to be a big tough game for them. And that was Let's see here. Number 30, Hannah Greiner into the lane, getting some contact. Greiner to the free throw line. Aubrey Kelly, the only remaining starter, in with this group of 4. And, you know, second half of the season, with 4 seniors on your starting roster, you do kind of have to start thinking, get, you know, some chemistry a little bit with the kids that you have coming back next season. This shot by Greiner.
And this is the time of year where they're starting to, they're going to ramp it up to make a run towards Des Moines. And you want to have, if you get into trouble, we've had that here at South Tama, where we've had really, really good teams, and we get into trouble, but coming off the bench is going to have to be one of those.
Yep. Kelly, through contact, able to go up strong from the right side, scores it. 32-8 now. Madison Hitchcock down low to Heck.
And this does benefit South Tama a little bit, because they, you know, maybe some of these substitutes for Benton Community are a little bit, will give us a little bit of a game. We can maybe get a little bit of confidence coming out, staying close to the second group.
3-pointer by Avery Kramer, out of bounds. Emma Townsley back into the game, though, so not going to be too much time here with the slate of reserves. So Townsley checks in for Kelly, and then the rest of the players off the bench remain in. 6 minutes to go here in the first half. Kayla Heck up top to Dolezal.
There she goes, right to the basket and take it to strength. Yep.
And Kayla Heck will go to the line. I believe it's going to be the first free throw shots for South Tama in this contest.
And she's a player. Kayla Heck is a player. She's got a lot of tough grit and determination. You can see that even when she's running cross country.
Yep.
She sets her mind to doing something. She's going to try and carry the team on her back. She's a leader.
One more shot here for Heck. In and out. 0 for 2. Just got robbed there. Townsley quickly moving the ball up the court. Into traffic. Kicks it outside. 3-pointer. Off the mark there. Rebound by Sophia Seek. But the ball stolen away. Kayla Heck kind of got a hand in there, and Hitchcock picked it up off the ground. Now Dolezal, spin move with Suter right in her face, and the defense just a little too much. Townsley for
3.
3 off the back of the rim.
She doesn't look very comfortable from out there in 3 land.
No.
That's her move right there.
Right into the right into the lane.
Yep.
And she gets it for 2.
See an opening and go after it. Holla brings the ball up. Jasleen Lasley. She just needs to take that shot. She shouldn't.
Yeah.
There it is. There's Kayla Heck.
Kayla Heck from the left side, cuts in, puts one down for 2. She's got 4 tonight. Trojans into double figures finally here. With 4.5 to go left in the first half on Jam the Gym night at South Tama.
I think the cold and the wind did something to Jam the Gym night. That's Townsley from 3. Now she's comfortable. I had to say that, didn't I? Didn't I have to say that she's not comfortable from 3?
And Coach Zittergren and the Bobcats coming in with a fresh set of 5. Everybody getting on the court tonight.
Yeah. And there's a definite plan. It's not a this isn't a you're not going to be too concerned about South Tama, should I say that?
Right.
Because of their record and because of the kind of the dynamic of the team, they're kind of looking past us. Second team could give us a run for our money.
Right.
And that's, you know, you got to start looking at fatigue. And over the last, I think Benton Community, we missed 4 days of school. I think they may have missed 6 because of the road conditions.
Yep.
Knowing a friend over there in Benton County. So they maybe have not played in the last couple of weeks as much as they needed to or wanted to. You know, the ability when school's canceled, getting kids in, getting practices in, getting consistency in. So they're looking for they're looking, like you said, they're looking for the right combination of girls to make sure that everything is going to go smoothly for them.
Out of this timeout, 4:19 on the clock. South Tama with the ball here. Heck, Hitchcock, Holla, Defoe, and Dolezal in at the moment. Dolezal gets it over to Heck. A little pump fake there inside, but she throws it away, trying to get it to Defoe. Back on the court for the Bobcats. Piper Nelson, McKenna Kramer, Zoe Jungi, Aubrey Kelly, and we also have number 34, Jessa DeMoss. She's getting her first action of the night with a group of starters here.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't she a starter? Was she a starter last year, DeMoss?
No.
She wasn't?
No.
Okay.
They lost Jenna Tweet was the...
Okay.
So that might have been it, yep.
Jenna and Jessa.
And she's over at Kirkwood Community College. She's starting for the Eagles over there and is their second leading scorer. So she's off and running in her freshman season.
I like to see that those local kids. Especially since you've seen them since, they've been playing, watching them play since they were in 7th grade. Volleyball and running track and doing all the other stuff that they're doing.
Steal by Nelson. Nelson, nobody behind her. It's a little action there from Kayla Heck trying to come up from behind. Misses on the shot, but it'll be a foul after that scramble.
Madison Hitchcock, the junior guard, given everything she's got in there. Beating some things around. She comes out of the game. Takaya Rosenberger back in for South Tama.
Inbound to Kelly. Open shot for Kramer. It's no good, and Defoe is right there to haul it in. Rosenberger back into the game. Gets up the court. They go down low to Dolezal. She kicks it back out to Holla.
And they're moving the ball. Just get it. Okay, now down in the center.
Kayla Heck.
Take it in the middle. It's collapsing on him.
Picks up the dribble and not quite there on the jumper.
A little more arch to that shot.
Or get in a little closer, one of the two.
The South Tama is moving it. I'm impressed they're moving the ball well.
Right.
And they're not giving up they're not giving up coming down and trying to take a goofy shot.
And Kelly's going to be fouled on the close jumper there. Defoe will pick up her third foul, I believe. Yep, this will be the third for her. Gisela Camacho getting ready to check in.
Madison Hitchcock looks like she might be getting ready to check in. If maybe she's getting a drink of water behind the bench or something. Emma Townsley comes in. Oh.
So Townsley in for DeMoss and Camacho in for Defoe.
Aubrey Kelly with the free throw.
Kelly with 6 so far. Already 2 Benton players in double figures. You've got Townsley with 13, Kramer with 12. Here's Peyton Vandewall checking in for Aubrey Dolezal down low. 2.5 to go in the first half. And the inbound pass knocked out of bounds. Stays with South Tama.
I'd like to see Kayla from the baseline kind of get it up. Takaya Rosenberger kind of looks like she's, there you go, squirming around a little bit. If she can get it back in there, Peyton Vandewall's shot misses.
Bobcats recover. Kelly bringing it up the court. Nelson hands off to Jungi.
And they're just kind of winging they're working the ball around.
Right down low to Nelson.
Boy, they move the ball well.
They do.
And she's going to shoot
Long three-pointer from Kramer. It's off the mark. Kayla Heck there for the rebound. Rosenberger quickly bringing it up. Loses the handle. Almost got to travel there, but throws it away. Townsley on the steal. Fast break from the left side, and it's good. Emma Townsley with 15 to lead all scorers. And a timeout.
Quick little timeout here. The problem with it is you're going to get in here, and we don't have anybody in real trouble.
Yep.
And South Tama is I think we go Tuesday at Grinnell. And then
Tuesday doubleheader at Grinnell, and then Thursday the girls have a makeup game on the road at Williamsburg, but the boys are not. The boys are playing later in February.
Yep.
And then Friday is the doubleheader here at home against Benton Schellsburg.
That's throwback night.
Throwback night.
So if you haven't gotten your T-shirt or sweatshirt to,
we're going to have our throwbacks apparel, a few sizes for sale here at the Roundhouse. And a special dedication of a plaque that we've worked on with South Tama to get made to kind of honor the history of the South Tama emblem. And looking forward to that next week.
The Trojan head. Shoot that. There you go. All righty, Holla.
Olivia Holla, baseline jumper. First points of the night for her.
And she can get cooking, too. She's going to have to learn as a freshman how to stand up and take a little bit of a leadership role.
Kramer missed on the 3. Townsley into traffic through 4 defenders. And she's going to be awarded with the ball. Last touch by South Tama. Inbound pass right to Kelly, top of the key. Kramer open. Thinks about it, gets it inside to Nelson. DeMoss in now. She tries a long 2. Kelly cleans it up. And just it's just, there's a 3 by Kramer to kind of finish off the exchange there. But to watch one Benton defender or player go into a group of 3 or 4 South Tama players, get the ball, control the possession, and either pass it. That's just, it's impressive. And
they all, just looking at them all of the Benton kids, they can see the floor well. You know they're extremely well schooled with who is going to be open on this possession.
Holla misses on her layup attempt, and the loose ball gets brought up to Townsley. She passes to Kramer, and it's good for 2.
And that's one of those things I think this Benton community, with all these seniors, this Benton community team is, you've got that continuity, and probably these girls have been playing together for a long time, so they know what's going on within the bounds of the game and their games.
Yep. 45-12 at halftime. All Benton community here. South Tama getting a few players on the board. That's good to see. We're going to take a break, hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll be back with the third quarter. Thanks for being with us here on Trojan Country. All right, we've got our half-court, $50 half-court shot contest underway here at the Roundhouse. Second shot off the bat. The little dude with the, I don't even know who that is.
That's
but
a Sermon, I believe. Right. He's wearing an Aggie shirt, so it's got to be a Sermon.
Yeah. So we got one already. Got a bigger group here tonight as the...
We got some of the varsity boys basketball players participating. Aid Rosenberger. Oh!
Just off the mark there.
Dolezal's given away a lot of $50 bills this year.
Yeah, he's had some multi-win, multi-shot nights so far.
And that's excellent. You like to see community members stepping up like that to support, especially tonight is so important. All the money is going to benefit the Perry Fund, the tragedy that happened at Perry High School.
Yeah, in South Tama, those who haven't looked at the schedule, we've got a game coming up February 8th, I believe. There's Eric Townsley. My goodness.
Ex-principal Eric Townsley just hit one for 50.
I don't know if that's insult to injury here with the Bobcats up by 30 whatever, but
nah, we're gonna shame him. We're gonna shame him into getting that $50 to Perry.
There you go.
He better. Oh, there's another one. So far, it's $100. Dolezals are given away.
Dolezal Farm Supply have been the sponsor of the girls' half-court shot contest this year, and State Bank of Toledo doing the one for the boys' games.
Barrett, you see? Oh. I don't know if this technically counts. They're going across the line. It's kind of fun to see this. That's the fundraising and having all kinds of fun. You got some of these kids that are just winging it up, not even making it to the free throw line. But it's all for a good cause. Good for them. Proud of our kids and proud of our community, because a lot of times when things happen in different places, we step up.
Yeah. So on February 8th, the Perry Blue Jays are coming to town for a boys varsity contest. And the proceeds from tonight's Jam the Gym night, there's several different things going on. There's a donation station out in the cafeteria, and the tennis program has a bracelet fundraiser they're donating some proceeds to for tonight. This half-court contest here, all going to just kind of support the Perry community.
Here we have the Benton varsity kids. Good for them. You'd like to see that. Politics aside, community support community is what it's all about.
Oh, yeah.
And especially in high school athletics.
A few more coming down to the end of the line here.
There you go. The little girl took everything she had to get that baby up there.
Here as we wind down. Halftime, half-court shot. We've had two so far. Is that their count here? We've had
$100.
two. Yeah.
Couple of people left. Little guy. He got it there. There it is. Awesome.
We got two winners. Come on over.
A couple updates from the Clear Creek Amana Wamak Girls Wrestling Tournament happening as we speak here. And South Tama's girls teams had a heck of a run this season as they've gotten close to a full roster out. A lot of freshmen on that squad. Maylee Ellsbury, of course, the returning state champion, and a couple other ranked, Autumn Ellsbury and Abigail Chima in the rankings as well, and returning state qualifier. So a really exciting girls program, and they're competing with the WAMAC Conference. And just kind of looking at some. All right, so we've got both our winners donating their proceeds back to the Perry Support Fund. Great to see. And just want to give you some results here as we're waiting for the start of the third quarter. Results as they stand at the moment for the STC Trojans. At the 100-pound bracket, South Tama's Olivia Smith is into the semifinals. She had a quarterfinal round win by fall over Carly Elliott of Mount Vernon. And then at 105, Taylor Johansson took a loss in the quarterfinals as into the consolation side of her bracket. At 110, Ava Hendricks lost to Olivia Primrose in the quarterfinals by a 12-9 decision. She's also into the consolation side. 115, Keely Holloway losing to a ranked Madison Kirby by fall in the quarterfinal rounds from Williamsburg, and she is working her way into the consolation side as well. Same is true for London Jeanette at 120. She has to go up against Bree Swenson. She's a ranked wrestler, was a state tournament qualifier last year for Benton Schellsburg, and she defeats London Jeanette of South Tama by fall in the quarterfinals. Jeanette working her way through the consolation side. Ava Perkins for South Tama, losing in the quarterfinal round to Williamsburg's Ryan Holt by fall. Maylee Ellsbury is into the semifinals. She won her quarterfinal bout against Clear Creek Amana's Haley Borman by fall. At 140, South Tama's Paisley Bro took a loss in her first match of the night to Sadie Burke of Benton Schellsburg by fall. Brooklyn Mitchell got a win in her first match tonight in the WAMAC Conference meet. So that's at 145 pounds. South Tama's Brooklyn Mitchell wins by decision over West Delaware's Addison Berger. She's on into the semifinals. Abigail Chima also winning at 155 over Olivia Hansen of Clear Creek Amana by fall. She's on to the semifinal round. South Tama's Autumn Ellsbury at 170 has not wrestled yet. She has gotten a bye through into, so she got a first round bye, a quarterfinal round bye, and so now she's waiting to wrestle her first match in the semifinals. Same is true with Emma Slifer at 190, and same is true with Kinley Jimenez at 235. So the kind of heavier weights for South Tama girls, lighter, smaller brackets, and so they're not wrestling yet until semifinal action. So if you want to follow along with that, check out trackwrestling.com, and you can see the live updates there. We'll try and check in here between games and give you another update. So good luck to the girls wrestlers as they compete, and then on Friday of next week they go to their super regional where they wrestle at Mason City to qualify for the state tournament the following weekend. All right, coming out of the halftime locker room, South Tama trailing Benton Community 45-12. You got any post or halftime stats for us?
I do. Emma Townsley's leading Benton Community with 15, Piper Nelson with 5, McKenna Kramer with 13, Aubrey Kelly with 6, Zoe Jungie with 2, Hannah Greiner with 1. And these are very unofficial. Olivia Holla for South Tama with 2 points, Aubrey Dolezal with 4 points, Kayla Heck with 4 points, and Jasleen Lasley with 2 points for the Trojan.
Good to see multiple players for South Tama.
Yeah.
There's a lot of nights where we're down like this, and it's maybe 1 or 2 players that are able to get on the board. And South Tama getting multiple players involved here.
And that's the biggest part of it. If you take a look at the stats from and bound and quick stats and all of those things, you have a tendency to see the South Tama, it's kind of skewed.
Yeah.
It's where you looks like we're not having a great year, but you have that 2 and 4 and 5 point games from some of the girls that it's a good thing to see with South Tama. I think it's going to be well balanced. One of the things we have to do is we just have to get depth. We have to get depth.
Right.
We have to get this back. The popularity of volleyball, get that back to basketball, because basketball is a lot more physical.
And they support each other.
Yes.
You look at this Benton community roster here, and the names across from the volleyball team, it's almost a carbon copy from the state tournament teams that they've brought on the volleyball side. They carried those kids over here, and they're having success on the basketball end. And I think they're complementary sports.
Right.
They can be if you work at it.
And this is this whole thing, and then you talk about continuity. If I remember right, I had a conversation this afternoon with somebody that said that most of these girls are the volleyball, so they know how to win.
They do.
They know how to go to state. They know how to do. They came up through. I think Benton Community was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago when these kids would have been freshmen or sophomores, came through and won a state title in softball again.
Yeah.
And they've always been tough. They've always done that thing, and that's kind of what we need with South Tama, is we just kind of have to get that continuity.
South Tama in the half court here. Lastly, cutting inside, going to be fouled by Townsley.
Is that
Maybe.
kind of a ticky-tack?
A little reach in there by Townsley, and it'll be a non-shooting foul. Trojans have it on the far sideline.
She owns up to it. She doesn't like it, but she owns up to it, so she's all right.
47-12, all Benton community here. Inbound to Gisela Camacho. Over to Heck in the sideline. Now Lastly, going to that right side again. She likes that shot.
She does like that shot.
Rolls one in. Second bucket of the night for Jasleen Lastly. Open look for Townsley from 3. No good.
Not going to say it. Not going to say a word.
Wide open. McKenna Kramer
But
rattles one through.
She get out of Dodge.
Yeah.
Wow.
McKenna Kramer, I believe, with 3 three-pointers so far tonight.
I have her with 4.
4, okay.
My math may be a little bit off.
No, I think
though.
you're better than I am tonight here. Kelly down low, guarded by Heck. Good defense there by Kayla, kind of sticking with Kelly as she was spinning around. Loose ball gets picked up by the Trojans. We do have a varsity boys contest coming after this one, so don't go anywhere if you're looking for boys action tonight. There's a long 2 by Heck, no good. Boys varsity will take the court as soon as this one gets over here between the girls' teams. Transition bucket for Piper Nelson underneath the hoop.
And that's just moving. They're moving the ball, and South Tama is bringing Jasleen Lastly kind of just scooted in, and then Aubrey's at the top of the key. She just look. Okay, there you go. Oh, don't carry that ball.
Camacho to the right side, out to Heck.
Into Dolezal. She's got to go up stronger with that.
Or not be afraid to put the ball on the court and
you
dribble.
Can't be. Don't be. You can't be intimidated by your opponents going into the game. And I don't think I don't think it's intimidation. It's just right now you can see a little bit of fatigue coming.
Right.
And as Benton community starts to grab, they've got 5 more girls ready to come in.
Townsley strips the ball away. Easy steal. Transition bucket. Assist from Kramer, and Townsley finishes the shot off as Coach Zittegren and the Bobcats sub in a fresh 5. So the entire starting lineup going to the bench. On for Benton community, DeMoss, Greiner, Suter, Avery Kramer,
And Seek. Sophia Seek.
Olivia Halla back on for South Tama. Rosenberger
There it
finds
is.
Kayla Heck down
Hey.
low, and right as soon as the second string gets in,
Yep.
Heck aggressive to the basket, draws the contact, gets the shot.
Nice little kind of give and go. She went right to the basket. You got to like that aggressiveness. Like we said in the first half, Kayla's going to be very aggressive. She's a competitor. She sinks the free
Good
throw.
on that free throw.
Good for her.
Dolezal will, nope, that's Madison Hitchcock checking in for Defoe. Here are the Bobcats now. In the half court. Pass thrown away, stolen by Rosenberger. Trying to loop it over to Halla. Halla covered up, gets it to Hitchcock. Heck cutting in, puts a shot up, not there. Loose ball picked up by DeMoss. Bobcats moving it quick up the court. A bucket and a foul. Haley Suter caught the outlet pass there and went up quick with it. Gets her first points tonight, and we'll go to the line to try and make it a 3-point play.
I think Haley Suter is assistant coach Jeremy Suter, if I'm not mistaken. Their golf coach and basketball coach. Might be his oldest daughter, I think.
Peyton Vanderwall checking in for
for South
Dolezal.
Tama. Just got to play. They're just going to. I think Benton community is just set on letting these girls, these 5, get their experience against us. Kind of call it back a little bit. There you go.
Hall, a fast break, going right to the rim.
Yep, she's going to learn how to do that. That's back in shades where she was the best player on the court when she was in 7th grade and 8th grade, and just going right down. Kaya Rosenberger going to get her chances too.
Throws one up, air balls, loose ball picked up. And it's going to be Kayla Heck and Greiner tying up. It will be possession arrow going to the Bobcats. Greiner to inbound. And she gets it over. Get these
Pass
whole new set of
intercepting,
players.
that's-
Seek here, guarded by Rosenberger. They go down low to Kramer. Suter for three.
In and out and in.
And in.
Nice little shot there. You got this younger bunch coming through. Oops, shoot, traveled.
Traveling by Heck.
It's too bad.
Turnover for the Trojans. Gives Seek and the Bobcats another trip in the half court.
Here we go, Benton working the ball really, really well. Get it
Seek
out to the
out
corner.
to Kramer. Corner
Kramer.
three, no good. Greiner picks up the rebound.
Uh-oh.
But Rosenberger gets into the passing lane, gets a steal. Trojans back with the ball now.
Hitchcock coming up the floor. Look to pass. Kayla, be patient.
And Kayla Heck trying to get it to a teammate there, but it gets knocked loose. Holla gathers it. Minute 32 left here as we're into continuous clock with the lead, 61-19. Heck into traffic, throws it up, no good. DeMoss, the rebound. Greiner for three. No good. Right there with the putback is DeMoss.
Right place at the right time
Yeah.
on that rebound, and that's what they're doing. You can kind of see that they're setting up, running the same kind of offense that the starting five were running. So they're in there getting this group is getting in their experience for Benton Community. Peyton Vandewall misses a shot for South Tama, 21. Avery Kramer bringing it down the floor. She
Full
puts it
free
up
throw
and
line
shoots.
shot there.
Yep.
Rosenberger for South Tama, guarded by Kramer, picks up the dribble, throws it into the middle of the lane, and it'll be a steal for Benton Community. DeMoss on the
with
fast
easy
break.
layup. And the steal by Hannah Greiner again takes it right to the hole, misses the shot. Rosenberger comes up with the rebound. Holla.
12 seconds here left in the third quarter.
Vandewall going to take a little shot. Nope. A little bit more patient there.
Seek will try one last shot at the buzzer, no good. We go to the fourth quarter now. South Tama trailing 67-19
You kinda
here
see
on
the
Jam the Gym night.
frustration on some of the Trojans' faces coming in, and Benton Community is going to bring their starters back in probably for a couple more minutes so they can get them their sea legs underneath them, so they're not, they've got to play some basketball so they can get into it tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. And we've got boys varsity coming up yet this evening here at the conclusion of this girls game. Next week, our broadcast schedule is going to be a little different. We've got wrestling to start the week, and we'll be at the back half of the week. We will start with a Thursday broadcast over in Benton Community. It's going to be a four-team dual meet. Benton, South Tama, Belle Plaine, and Tipton are wrestling on Thursday. That's going to be our next broadcast. The Grinnell games will be live on the Tiger Sports Network. So if you search Grinnell Tigers basketball, you can probably find it pretty quickly on YouTube there. So they'll have live coverage of the games on Tuesday. The Williamsburg game on the road will have you can get live coverage there from the Williamsburg YouTube, and then on Friday we'll have the doubleheader here live on Trojan Country of the Vinton-Shellsburg game. So that's kind of our next week. Assuming we get no more snow, fingers crossed, toes crossed.
Rain next week.
That's right, yeah, 30s, yeah.
Supposed to be by the end of the week, close to 40.
It's going to be so muddy, too.
Oh, it's going to be fun.
Start the fourth quarter. Avery Kelly underneath. Banks it in for 2.
Is that Avery or Aubrey?
Aubrey, excuse me.
They
yes.
got to be.
We've got a. Yep, it was
be
Avery
twins.
last quarter. Yep.
Nope, they're sisters because one's a sophomore, one's a. Holy smokes!
Lastly, for a long 3, it's no good. Hard off the backboard. Piper Nelson the rebound, and here come the Bobcats back again. This is the starting 5 back on here for Benton Community. Camacho almost got it stolen away.
You got another. It's I just looking down here. It's
3-pointer by Jungi's no good.
Aubrey Kelly's a sophomore, so they got another one like Townsley coming
Yeah,
in that can
they
shoot
do.
the ball and
5'10" as
Yeah.
a sophomore. That's, room to grow still, and a lot of potential there.
what we're trying to say, folks, is that the Benton could be good for a couple of years.
Right. 3-pointer by Kelly, no good. Camacho the rebound.
He kind of looks a little fatigued coming up down the floor, but just be patient. Get your. She's kind of the leader of the second group here, Jasleen Lasley. She's got she's got a nice nose for the basket.
Yeah.
And she's not afraid to go up with it and take a shot that she thinks she can make. Townsley with a nice pass out underneath.
Out of bounds.
Steps out of bounds.
Trojans ball. 6:14 on the clock as continuous clock runs off here. Paige Krosky in for South Tama, getting her first look tonight.
Peyton Vandewall.
Camacho, Dolzal, Lasley, and Krosky. Lasley drives in. Camacho, long 3.
Holy smokes.
Off the mark. Townsley, open look at the hoop. Drives in, kicks it out.
And she passed it.
Yeah.
She probably would have gotten a little bit of trouble if she hadn't have passed it.
Now there's a 3, and it's good from the left side. Emma Townsley. And we get a timeout.
Looks like her night is probably going to be over for the starting 5 for the Bobcats.
The next 5 coming on for Benton Community. Another 5 coming in for South Tama as well. So
probably not the most stalwart defense, but 72
No.
points in a girls' high school game is a pretty good total.
yeah,
With these guys, and I'm impressed with their shooting and more impressed with the way that they move the ball. That's
yep. Rosenberger, Hitchcock, Holla, Defoe, and Heck in for South Tama. Another nice thing to see from South Tama. Nobody's really gotten in foul trouble
No.
outside of Defoe. She's got 3, but here, we're into the fourth quarter.
Right.
So I like to see that as well. And South Tama needs all the depth and help they can get. They're able to get Jeanette Cervantes back. That'll help things in the post a little bit.
But she's an all-around. She's like a Kayla. She's an athlete like
Right.
Kayla Heck.
Multi-sport athlete.
She's quiet, and she's quiet and unassuming, but man alive. Whenever you turn around, she's getting some headlines from somebody, somewhere.
Ball gets poked out of bounds. Last touched by the Bobcats. Turnover gives it to South Tama. Rare turnover here for the Bobcats. Rosenberger now to Hitchcock, top of the key. 4.5 to go in this one.
Hala brings it up. Kayla Heck at the top of the key. Coming down, she's going to go to the basket. Defoe shoots, misses the 3.
Little
Good
pinball
scramble.
around
Ooh,
in the
there you
half
go.
court.
Kaya.
Rosenberger picks it up, but throws it away.
Like her hustle. She's always been a hustling ball player.
Seek over to Greiner. Into the lane, kicks it out. Open look for Kramer. And DeMoss catches the contact. Foul, and will go to the line. DeMoss misses on the first. And good on the second. Just under 4 minutes remaining in this girls varsity contest. Busy week coming up for the Bobcats. They're going to have Waverly Shell Rock at home tomorrow. Then they'll be at Williamsburg on Tuesday. And they'll host Clear Creek Amana on Friday, the 26th. These two teams are going to meet one more time. South Tama and Benton will play again at the tail end of the regular season for the girls on February 6th is their next one. That'll be in Benton, or in Van Horn at Benton. South Tama, meanwhile, has the Grinnell doubleheader on Tuesday, the Williamsburg makeup game on the road on Thursday, and a doubleheader at home against Benton-Schellsburg on Friday. DeMoss into the lane.
Jump ball.
And a reach in there by Defoe will earn a jump ball. Trojans get the arrow.
I like these three refs. They're letting them play.
Yep.
Especially the girls. They kind of probably knew going into it.
Yeah.
It looked like there's some local guys, probably from Cedar Rapids area around over there. So they've seen Benton community play a little bit, I'm sure. And just kind of knew what was going to happen and just let the kids play.
Hitchcock into the lane, gets the foul. Non-shooting foul.
Again, as I say that, there's a foul. So I'm just going to keep my mouth shut. Ask me a question, I'll answer a question. Because every time I say something, it just, yeah.
And Rosenberger goes inside to Defoe, and she's fouled. So the Bobcats kind of piling things on here a little bit. I think this will be the third team foul. And Defoe. Good on the first. Well, maybe they don't. Maybe we're off on our scoreboard here because was that a shooting foul from Defoe? I don't know. Our scoreboard's telling us we got two team fouls. Defoe good on both free throws. Two minutes to go. Boys teams getting kind of ready on the sidelines here. And a quick bucket by DeMoss underneath the hoop.
She got a nice quick 6 points there.
Yeah. And a senior, you know, to point that out, she's given them some depth and some experience. Was not a starter last year, but you know, got some size underneath, and
to have her you got her measured at 6 foot.
Yeah.
To have that down low is really nice.
And to have that on a night where you may be getting into foul trouble with one of your post players, and to have to you know bring 6 foot in off the bench is a real asset.
And Aubrey Kelly at 5'10" is no slouch either down low.
Right.
And then you got Piper Nelson. She's got a nice girl. So if they could truly, honestly, they could go big or they could go small.
Yeah. With
this group. And if they go small, they could run you out of the gym. If they go big, they could muscle you out of the gym. So it's a nice thing to see. You know, like you said in the pregame and you said at the beginning of the game, but you're looking at WAMAC teams that have 2 bigs and 2 quicks, and it's hard to overcome that when you're playing against 5 seniors, or 5 starting seniors, or 4 starting seniors and a sophomore,
which is most of the WAMAC is set up like that.
And it's set up like that, and that's one of the things we're missing is that consistency through the years. I was thinking when Kayla Heck and Takaya and Gisela were younger, and Sienna were younger, they had pretty good teams in middle school, but you lose a key cog somewhere.
Right.
And you don't...
It's hard to carry it over.
Right.
And the friend groups and the things kind of change when they get into high school, and things can kind of dissipate. And,
we do have a special circumstance here. We have 2 really good...
Three-pointer by Defoe there.
We have 2 really good basketball players who have gone out and they started their freshman year at Muscogee Settlement School.
Right.
That we're missing, that could be contributing here as a freshman. And that brings us to the end of the game.
75-24, the final score here at the Roundhouse. The Bobcats move to 10-4 overall. South Tama falls to 0-13, looking for their first win still. And we go on to the boys' game. We've got about 15 minutes, and we'll get things started. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with a pregame look at this boys' contest between South Tama and Benton Community. Thanks for being with us. We'll be right back after this.
Emotions, paper submarines. Emotions, emotions, blissful hurricane, swelling through me. Oceans and oceans, blue, black, and green. Motions to motions, even with the ship, I'm still drowning. What am I gonna do with all
All right, welcome back in live from the STC Roundhouse. Darvin Graham and George Cuter with you here on the call as we're getting ready for our boys varsity contest between South Tama and Benton Community. First, before we get into this kind of look at this matchup between these two boys teams, let's get some unofficial post-game stats for this girls game. The final there was 75-24 in favor of the Bobcats. They moved to 10-4 overall as they're kind of maintaining pace as the 8th ranked team in Class 3A, and things looking up for the Bobcats.
You ready?
Yeah,
okay.
Go ahead.
Stat-wise, here we go. Sophia Seek did not score. Emma Townsley, according to my calculations, and remember these are just these are real unofficial on my part, had 19 points. Piper Nelson had 11 points. McKenna Kramer, she's the three-point shooter to the bunch, had 4 three-pointers with 16 points. Aubrey Kelly had 8 points. Zoe Jungi had 2. Haley Suter had 5. Hannah Greiner had 1, a free throw. And Justa Moss had 6, down low, kind of playing a little scrub minutes, I'd say. Second team getting in there. But she's really impressed. Just talked to her downstairs. Really impressed. And I think that they just got a little bit of confidence on them. They got a lot of there's a lot of confidence. The girls are going home right now. They play first Waverly Shell Rock tomorrow, so they're going to go home. They're going to get some rest. I know some of them will probably stick around and watch the boys game, but the first priority needs to be tomorrow. Yeah. And at this point in time in the season, they want to build that continuity, and they played really, really, really well there. For the South Tama Trojans, Olivia Hollow wound up with 4 points. Aubrey Dolezal had 4 points. Good. She got a lot of good rebounds, and she got a lot of good minutes coming after it. Kayla Heck had 7 points. Jasmine Lasley had 4 points, and Sienna Defoe also had 4 points, and that's all you're scoring for the South Tama County Trojans.
Trojans still kind of looking for answers, and they'll get a few options next week as they will take on Grinnell, Williamsburg, and Benton Shellsburg in a busy week of action. All right, moving ahead to look at this varsity contest on the boys' side. We're going to just jump into our starting lineups. First for the visitors from Benton Community. And this Benton Community team coming in 4-6 overall. They've got wins against Mid-Prairie, Regina Catholic, West Delaware, and Clear Creek Amana. And they've got a couple of close losses as well. They've got a 6-point loss to Marion in mid-December, and then they lost by 10 to Mount Vernon. Also losses to Mount Pleasant, Williamsburg, Solon, and Grinnell. This team kind of comes in a different look than what they had. They graduated a lot of seniors from last year, and their one returner from the starting lineup from last year, Owen Chumland. He's a 5'11" senior guard. Chumland averaging 4 points per game. He's the assist leader and kind of just a ball handler and kind of a floor general, a quarterback for the football team, and he's their returning starter coming into this season here. And the record would suggest, a team that's just kind of trying to find themselves here a little bit as well. So Chumlin at the point guard position. Also another guard, number 12, 6'1" senior Wyatt Rindernecht. Rindernecht, sort of by volume, he has shot the ball the most with this team, but not a leading scorer. So look for him to be active based on what we've seen in the box scores. At a small forward position, number 30, senior Quincy Gilbert. Gilbert averaging 9 points per game, is also the steals leader, and really doing a nice job at the free throw line, shooting 72%. Rounding out the lineup, number 13, 6'3", senior forward Colby Winger, and sophomore number 15, Carson Nolan, 6 foot forward. For your Trojans, South Tama's starters at the point guard been a lot of the same. South Tama has really gone about 6 deep this season, 6 or 7. And that continues here. They've stayed healthy, knock on wood, and they've got a big group of seniors along with freshman Emerson Bridgewater. Starters for the Trojans, number 2, Cade Rosenberger. Number 5, senior Daniel Weiss. Number 3, senior Tommy Tynisma, number 33, senior Jeremy Dolash, and number 23, freshman Emerson Bridgewater. Bridgewater is going to have the height advantage on paper listing at 6'4", so nobody on this Benton roster tops out any taller than 6'3". So Bridgewater's going to have that advantage, but he's going to have a couple of bigger bodies to deal with underneath as well.
He's going to have some bigger bodies to deal with underneath, and he's just a freshman. And that's the thing is, it's kind of one of those, we talked about it in football. He didn't move up to the varsity level until later, and it's just you're growing into your role.
Game by game, yeah. He's been thrown into the fire here.
Yeah.
But I think he's really had a nice start to his high school career here.
Yes.
Had a really nice game. South Tama's last game in action was on Tuesday against Clear Creek Amana. It was a close game, really neck and neck until the fourth quarter when Clear Creek Amana pulled ahead. They got a 53-48 win, the Clippers did, against South Tama. They will play one more time. So South Tama's, coming into this season, or into this season, they've got wins against CPU. They've got a win against Benton Shellsburg. They almost get one against Clear Creek Amana, and they're going to play all those teams one more time yet to go here. Emerson Bridgewater in that contest had 17 points, a double-double he had, 17 points, 13 rebounds. I didn't go through all the box scores. I think that's his best this season.
Right, and that's what he needs to. That's what he needs to do. He needs to be a force. He needs to be a force. He needs to be a presence in underneath the basket.
And next leading scorer for South Tama. Let's see, leading scorer by average. South Tama's Tommy Tynisma comes in as the team leader. He's averaging 11 points per game.
They introduced the South Tama County Trojans. You got Cade Rosenberger, Tommy Tynisma. The one thing is this just like the girls. Cade Rosenberger has played varsity. Daniel Weiss has played varsity. Then you have Jeremy Dolash has played varsity. Then you add Tommy Tynisma that's got a little bit of quick and those types of things. It's the thing about it is you added all those cross-country guys who hadn't played basketball for a couple of years. So the thing that you have to look at is how well they mesh after not playing. And you can start them to see what they showed as freshmen.
Oh, yeah.
When they moved Tommy Tynisma up to the varsity, he got some varsity experience as a freshman. He was in over his head. He'll tell you that. Everybody will tell you that. He was in, but that experience is invaluable. Leadership experience. You can tell that from the cross-country team and the things that he's done on the track and those types of things. And he just kind of brought it over with him. Good basketball player, got great common sense. But you got Weiss, Rosenberger, and Dolash, who have a lot of varsity experience, and they start gelling with Emerson Bridgewater and Tommy Tynisma. These guys are going to, second half of the season, going to win some games.
And South Tama's going to start with it here. We are underway. First possession. Trojans have Cade Rosenberger, guarded by Chumland. And they go to Bridgewater at the elbow.
And this is the game they can win. All they have to do is just be patient, and don't give away. Every time down the floor, just don't give away what you're trying to do. And they're trying to work the ball in the middle. Weiss is going to come through contact, and they get the ball back. And Tynisma, little.
And Chumland the rebound for Benton Community. Yeah, on paper, I think South Tama has to like this matchup. I think Benton Community's got more wins by total.
Yeah.
South Tama, if they can play to their potential, I think it's a 50-50 game.
But it's similar to the Vinton game. They're matched, and if they stay in the game, like they can, don't make mistakes. Don't make big mistakes that are going to cost you points. Everything is going to be fine.
Baseline jumper to start things off. Wyatt Rendernecht scores first for the Bobcats.
It's a nice little shot, and it's very patient. Both of these teams are going to use as much of the shot clock as they can. Work the ball around, look for an open shot. I'd like to see Jeremy Dolash just go to the basket after he catches that ball. Cade Rosenberger for three, miss. Tynisma with the rebound and the putback. So you got that.
Good look underneath there by Tynesma.
Got that good basketball sense coming down. He's got a nose for the ball.
And can jump out of the gym.
Exactly.
I mean, he's the blocks leader on this team,
Yep.
standing 6'1", maybe 6'2".
If that, the Iowa State commit, he's enjoying his last season of basketball because it's going to be all running here. Rosenberger, ooh,
Just
that's
got robbed
twice.
on the 3 there, yeah.
That's twice. It's been in and out for Rosenberger, but you get
He's
him
not
confidence.
afraid to shoot.
No.
He knows that's what he needs to do. South Tama does not have a lot of real pure shooters on this squad. Rosenberger can be that. There's a three-pointer by Rinderneck. It's no good. Rebound by Bridgewater, and the Trojans quickly back up the court.
I'm sure Tate has got some pointers. His dad was he loved to shoot. He came off the bus shooting, and most of the time he hit about 50% of what he shot. Just
Rosenberger, good pass down low to Bridgewater.
Get it in there. There you go.
And a little finger roll.
That's what you need.
Right off the hip of Colby Winger. And Bridgewater gets on the board here. Got to keep him out of foul trouble. Trojans are not a deep squad. Traveling called against Benton Community. Carson Nolan traveled there in the middle of the lane. Turn over to the Trojans.
Do you think with South Tama moving the ball the way that they are moving the ball, and with Rosenberger's ball sense, they're going to have to. Benton Community could get pushed into making mistakes.
Absolutely. Yep. For 3, Rosenberger. It's
there.
Good.
It is
from the left side. First one of the night for Cade Rosenberger.
And he got pounded to the floor. Tough guy, and if you can see that stroke. As soon as he starts getting confidence in that three-point shot, he's going to take the three-point shot.
Rinderneck against Bridgewater, and Bridgewater called for the foul. Sending Wyatt Rinderneck to the line for 2. Couple of substitutes getting ready to check in for Benton Community. Head coach there, Larry Carlson, longtime head coach for the Bobcats. And Rinderneck off on the first. Coming in for Benton Community, number 5, Gavin Brooks, and number 10, Ryan Spina. Brooks actually the scoring leader. He's averaging the only player averaging double figures. He's averaging 11.6 points per game. And Rinderneck good on the second free throw. He's got 3 total.
It's okay. It's kicked underneath the basket. Weiss tried to take him down real fast. And number 10, James Brandt, coming into the game for Jeremy Dolash.
Inbound pass to Tynesma, stripped away. It goes out of bounds.
Oh. Knocked the ball out of bounds going after the second.
And so it will be called Benton ball. They're going to say Tynesma got a hand on it before it went out of bounds. And now the Bobcats coming into the half court. A little pressure here from the Trojans. Chumlin picks it up to Rinderneck.
Moving the ball well, just kind of like the girls are.
Yeah.
And they're just going to take a good shot. And
three-pointer by Gilbert's no good.
Unlike the girls, they're not making very many shots.
No.
If those start to fall, if South Tama can get out to a big enough lead and force them to have to take those shots, there's Rosenberger for 2. Up underneath the basket, nice little jumper.
Good strong work underneath there.
He's got 5 quick points for the Trojans.
Bobcats quickly into the half court, open look for Gavin Brooks, and it's no good.
Rebound by Rosenberger. He's going to bring the ball up now. He's kind of looking a little bit gas. Bridgewater's calling for the ball underneath the basket. He's got a mismatch underneath there. He's playing against number, is that 5? Is that Brooks?
Yeah, that's Brooks. So he's got a double team coming against Gilbert. Back out to Rosenberger. Tries a jumper from the free throw line. No good. Quincy Gilbert the rebound, and now the Bobcats pushing the pace up the court.
Give him the double team. Benton going to double team Bridgewater. There's going to be somebody open. They're not that.
Brooks into the lane, loses it. Chumlin picks it up. And he powers his way into the lane, kicks it back out to Brooks, and now Spina jostles around and rattles one in. Way to stick with a shot there from Ryan Spina, 5'10" junior guard. His first points of the night.
Looks like they're going to commit to, they're going to bring somebody in. Dolesh is going to come back in for South Tama. But it looks like Benton's going to stick with the 5 that they've got. Bridgewater coming through.
Bridgewater draws contact and will go to the line.
That's what he needs to do. That's what you know, he's a good running quarterback. He can get in there and he can take a pounding down there.
And even though he's not a high percentage free throw shooter, but the fouls are almost as valuable with this new 5 double bonus situation. As I say that, he makes his first.
Yep.
Good shot there by Emerson Bridgewater. First free throw good. Substitutes coming in. Rinderneck checks out for Benton Community. Coming in is Parker Mitchell, 5'10" junior guard. And for South Tama, Jeremy Dolash will be in just a moment.
Lane violation. Yep.
Like.
Lane violation on Quincy Gilbert there underneath the basket. So
one more for Bridgewater here.
Sink this.
And it's good. 2 for 2 from the line. Bridgewater to the bench.
Take it. Good job.
Good start here for the Trojans as they lead 11-5. And now Dolash going to have to kind of patrol that paint area, and they go right inside. Gilbert kicks it back out to Chumlin. He goes inside. Open look for Brooks. Long 3. It's good. Daniel Weiss gets it across half court. Charges inside of the lane to James Brandt. Just not a high quality shot there. No. Brandt misses. Bobcats recover.
Needs to go up a lot stronger with that shot.
Brooks tries it again. No good on the 3. Chumlin the offensive rebound, and they go outside. Back to Brooks, guarded by Dolash. He goes inside. Shot no good. Good rebound there by Daniel Weiss. Just over a minute left in this first quarter. Trojans maintaining a lead. Tynisma into the lane.
It's on the floor, so the basket didn't count.
And that will go against Owen Chumlin, his first personal. Three-pointer here for Rosenberger.
Oh,
it's
he's
good.
hot.
2 already have found the bottom of the net for Cade Rosenberger, and South Tama leading 14-8. Chumlin into the lane, into a double team, a block from Jeremy Dolash.
And he'll take that one. He's got a look on his, Jeremy Dolash right now has a look on his face like he is just gonna, anybody comes in his neighborhood, he's just gonna pound on him.
And Coach Craig Harrison's got to love that, having his, his power forward kind of patrolling like that with Bridgewater on the bench.
And he physically, over the last 2 years, physically has just gotten so much bigger.
Yep.
Height-wise, he hasn't grown that much, but that's an example where football has toughened him up.
Yeah. Weiss kind of stumbles through the lane. Off-balance shot is no good, and the Bobcats recover. They've got 3 getting ready to come in. Long 3 for Owen Chumlin, and that one is buried. Bobcats keeping pace here, 14-11.
Don't want this to get into a 3-point shooting contest.
Right. And into the lane. Cade Rosenberger at the buzzer. Teardrops one in. And Rosenberger having a nice first half here.
Fans, I want to take a moment to thank STC Activity Boosters for Jam the Gym night. The raffle prizes will be announced at halftime. I want to take a moment to thank WCF, donating over 200 hot dogs tonight to anyone that wanted.
Unofficially through that quarter, my math is correct. We got Cade Rosenberger with 10 of the 16 South Tama points. Tommy Tyne is with 2, Emerson Bridgewater with 4. So you've got an outside-inside thing going on here, which is really good for the...
Yeah, South Tama has not had a multi-pronged offense much of this season, and it's good to see that working here early.
And I can't remember, maybe you can refresh my memory. I can't remember the last time that South Tama had an inside-outside like this, where they had a big guy in the middle. Maybe with
that
Keith
was a
Kiana.
score. Yeah, with Keith.
And who was there?
Well, it was in 18 when they had Justice and Keith.
Yeah.
Justice Ward.
Yeah.
They were, a 6'3", 6'4", and could score underneath. And then the guards with Gabe Shields and Sterling Tyon,
right?
Just kind of burying threes.
And you can get that, but we've never had.
Not since then.
Not since then. We haven't had the inside-outside where you're going to have to guard a shooter and a big man.
Trojans back on with their starters here to start the second quarter, 16-11. And
we're waiting to clear the fouls.
On
here.
For the Bobcats, it looks like we've got Parker Mitchell, Colby Winger, Wyatt Rinderknecht, Ryan Spina, and one other one I'm missing here.
Emerson, watch your hands.
Mitchell guarded by Tynisma. And number 10, Spina.
Spina.
Three-pointer off the mark from Rinderknecht.
Rinderknecht's we've got to box him out. We can't let him get that.
Put back shot there from the Bobcats. Narrows the lead to 3.
Nope, you got time. You got time.
And Daniel Weiss into the lane.
Get him in here.
That's his sweet spot. That cutting drive into the lane and just sort of throwing things against the wall. And
3 to 4
feet there.
3 or 4 feet from the basket. Tommy Tynisma with the steal.
And the loose ball.
There you go.
Goes down low to Rinderknecht. He gets kind of robbed at the rim. South Tama on the fast break.
Oh, nice pass by Tommy Tynisma to Emerson Bridgewater in the middle.
Bridgewater, the little finger roll. He's got that shot anytime he wants it tonight.
Yeah.
He's got the height advantage and the length advantage. And as long as he can just stay out of foul trouble and keep on rolling. 7-point lead for the Trojans. Bigger crowd in here for this boys game here. Some bigger student sections come in and they're...
And vocal.
Yeah. And a block there by Bridgewater.
There it is.
And a little extracurriculars underneath the hoop. I don't think no foul's going to be called here, but officials talking things over with South Tama's Daniel Weiss.
Stopped the action, and one of the refs pulled Daniel aside to tell him what was what. I think it's just a little bit of Emerson Bridgewater right now is just kind of manhandling.
Yeah.
Benton Community calls a timeout to see if they can get things back under control. And this is one of the things that you've got. You've got your 5 starters.
Yeah.
And the only starter that doesn't have points is Jeremy Dolash.
Yeah. And he can score. He's led scoring for a couple of games this season. So
yeah, he's led scoring. He can score. He can be tough. He can do those things. But it's the unsung things that he did. We talked about it. We broadcast a lot of football together last fall, and Jeremy Dolash's name kept coming up.
The heart of that football team last year. Absolutely.
Where it was you've got a running back coming through, and somebody holds him up, and then Dolash comes and pops him.
Yeah.
And or you need something big and coming across the middle. You got Dolash with his big claw sticking that out and pulling down a pass when you need it. But those are the types of things that even though he's not going to score, that's having a valuable senior leadership in that type of position is an awesome thing.
And coming out of the timeout, Quincy Gilbert and Owen Chumlin checking back in. So the full starting lineup back on the court for the Bobcats. Trojans still with their same 5. 6 minutes left in the first half. Bobcats with the ball. Here's Quincy Gilbert driving into the lane. Outside to Winger. Winger in to the lane hard. Loose ball. And it will be South Tama with the possession here as it's going to be last touched by Benton Community.
I think Winger was told that in that last timeout that he needs to take the ball to Bridgewater underneath his basket.
Yeah, that was the first thing he did.
It's the first thing that they did. And if you leave Emerson out there on the flats, get him down underneath, get him right there.
There he goes.
And you can't stop him.
Got that touch with the backboard and puts one in.
He's light enough. He's going to put that thing. He's going to put that thing back in the basket.
24-13 now the lead. Gilbert inside, back out to Winger. He tries it for three, and it's good. Colby Winger getting his first points tonight.
A three-pointer. At any given point in time, either one of the teams gets hot. He stepped on the Daniel Weiss, kind of a little out of control, coming up underneath, steps on the baseline.
Turnover there for the Trojans. And this is where South Tama's not used to playing as the front runner.
Right.
This is the challenge for South Tama in a season like this. There's a turnover. Pass a little too hard. Rinderneck wasn't ready for it, out of bounds.
But playing out with an 8-point lead with 5 minutes to go, Benton Community is going to start to panic. Because if
the pressure goes the other way.
Yeah.
Yep. And how are they going to handle it? And you've got a lineup that is, compared to the girls' team, complete opposite, where they've got one returner. Three-pointer for Rosenberger, no good. We'll see. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the mental game goes here.
And they just kind of it's forcing, and that's something that if you can do.
Wyatt Rinderneck good for three.
We don't want to see them hinting at staying out there. If they can't score underneath with Bridgewater, they're going to take those three-point shots. Now, what he needs to do here,
jumper,
rather than take that 5-foot jumper, is take another dribble and drive it to the basket and see if they're going to stop it.
Yep. Keep pressuring them until they don't allow it anymore. Bobcats back in the half court with 4 minutes to go. Another three from Rinderneck. It's hard off the front of the
force that shot. You're going to have. We've got a good rebounding team looking at Bound and looking at some of these games, and that's kind of what's going to keep you in it and the defensive rebounds.
Rosenberger, left side to Tynisma, spin move into the lane,
and there it is.
Jump shot is good. And South Tama's had that touch. We've had multiple shooters. Tynisma with a couple here. Bridgewater, of course, scoring early. And Benton Community is going to the three. That's kind of been their answer here in the second quarter, is just try and close the distance with a three-point shot. And a couple have gone, but probably not as many as they'd like.
The thing that's impressing me the most, and I'd like to see this. I'd like to see the stats on the rebounds on that one. Is Cade Rosenberger, who's gotten 3 or 4 key rebounds underneath Benton's basket.
Yep, he's not afraid to mix it up down there.
Where their big guys, Benton's big guys are out. Bridgewater's doing a good job keeping Winger out off the ball for those rebounds.
James Brandt checks in for Jeremy Dolash and that kind of post rotation. Brandt going to give him a little bit more speed. He's a big energy guy off the bench for South Tama.
He's got some height. I think they lose a little bit of the strength.
Oh, they do. Yeah.
When Jeremy's on the bench.
Ball tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Bobcats. 15 seconds on the shot clock. And South Tama will inbound with Rosenberger. Quickly into to Bridgewater.
Ooh.
Oh, and Bridgewater almost threw it away there. Would have liked to just take that shot. Bridgewater gets the foul and the bucket.
Foul and the bucket.
Let's see who the foul is on. And it'll be on
13.
That'll
Winger.
be Colby Winger.
Get him in.
Important foul there. South Tama could move to double digits here with a make by Bridgewater. Benton Community comes up with the loose ball. Chumlin quickly moving up the court. Foul called on Rosenberger. He's fouled out a couple of times this season, so gonna have to be careful. Winger, three-pointer, airballs it, and out of bounds.
According to my stat, that's his first one, so he's in pretty.
He's all right.
He's in pretty good shape. Not mistaken, 23. Emerson Bridgewater just has one also. If I'm not mistaken, we're in pretty good shape foul-wise.
Yeah, with 2 minutes left, just over 2 minutes to go. Trojans will have it out of bounds, tipped out by the Bobcats.
This
now
is where,
Rosenberger.
right. You need to start thinking about your halftime speech, and like you said, they're in a new position.
Right back to Bridgewater.
Oh.
Good look there, just kind of rolled off.
Good rebound by James Brandt.
Bodies
Scramble on the
everywhere,
floor.
and
Take the shot. Take
South
the shot.
Tama with it.
There you go.
Brandt into the lane, just not enough lift on it. Air ball gets picked up by Gilbert. Bobcats coming back the other way.
Nice thing about it is, too, is South Tama is being patient with their shots underneath the basket. They're waiting.
Chumlin tries a three, top of the key. It's good. Owen Chumlin, second three-pointer of the game. Minute and a half left. South Tama, full shot clock in their half court. Tynisma to Bridgewater. He goes into the lane, and an offensive foul called against Emerson Bridgewater, and you just
A bit too aggressive.
a little rushed. Yeah, a little aggressive.
He doesn't have to be that physical with the ball in his hand. He's the one that should be underneath the basket on something like that. If he stops and he thinks and he shoots, he's going to get the foul. He'll go to the foul line. They've got to stop him. He can't stop himself when it comes to that basket. He's got to be, can't be.
That was a good pass there by Ryan Spina, and it gets bobbled away.
Yeah, careful. You'll start the second
Nolan.
half with 3 fouls.
Yeah, right.
And then we're in all
exactly.
kinds of trouble. But this is
Rosenberger driving into the lane. He misses on an air ball.
all of a sudden he's got to get your hands out of there.
Under a minute to go. Bobcats with the ball, narrowing the lead here. Here's a three by Spina, and it's good. Ryan Spina putting a three-pointer down, and that narrows the lead to 3. South Tama pushed it back almost to 10 when the Bobcats got it down to 3 earlier.
And now they're just kind of playing a little smothering defense. And without Dolash in there, they don't have that physical presence to take James. James is down there. We need to kind of kick it off. And I would like to see
There's
James Brandt
Bridgewater
and Jeremy Dolash switch sides.
And Dolash
That's
gets
a physicalness right
tied
there.
up there with Gilbert.
We got 3-second violation.
3-second violation,
Yep. I thought it was going to be a jump ball too, but Jeremy kind of got in that paint area and waited a little bit. Carlson calling for his kids with 10 seconds to go. They need a point. They need a 3.
Gilbert with a 3. It's no good.
Just let it bounce in the air.
South Tama will go into the locker room with a lead.
With a lead.
28-25. Trojans kind of get out of this one, get out of the first half without giving up the lead and giving up too many fouls. But a really nice first half of play for the Trojans against the Benton Community Bobcats. We're going to take a break. We'll step away and hear from some of our sponsors. We'll be back with a little halftime report. Thanks for being with us here on Trojan Country.
Let them clear the floor first.
Oceans and oceans, paper submarines. Motions, emotions, blissful hurricane, swelling through me. Oceans and oceans, blue, black, and green. Motions, commotions, even with the ship, I'm still drowning. What
Wrestling cheer today with a couple of our STC wrestling cheerleaders. I'm going to have you introduce yourself, tell us your name, tell us what grade you are in, and how many years you've been doing wrestling cheer.
My name is Joni Verdula. I am a junior, and I have been doing wrestling cheer for 3 years.
My name is Lily Waka. I am a sophomore, and this is my second year.
Awesome. So we caught up with you guys both during the football cheer season. You guys are back doing wrestling cheer. What is different about the wrestling cheer experience compared to football? Do you have a favorite between the two, or is there a part of wrestling cheer that you enjoy that's different than you get to do with football? What's that kind of 2 seasons like?
For football, I definitely love like the environment. I love the stunting. That's definitely one big thing I love in that. For wrestling cheer, I also love the environment. I love how much fun like everything is with both. That's really my main things.
Nice. Lily, how about you?
I actually am only involved in wrestling cheer.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You're good.
Had that wrong there. But so I'll have you tell me, what do you enjoy most about wrestling cheer? What is it that kind of kept you going out the last couple of years?
I very much love the environment. The girls are all super good together, and it's really fun to be able to watch your wrestlers grow through the season, to see them start as the first meet and them all nervous, to some of them making it to state and place winning at state. It's very fun.
You guys are a couple meets into the season so far. The girls have been active with their home meet and then at Nevada before Thanksgiving. What has this first part of the season been like, that first week in those 2 tournaments? What was that experience like?
It was very fun. We have it's a lot bigger than it was last year, so it's very exciting to see a lot more involvement, and it's going to be very fun to watch them grow throughout the season because we didn't get to cheer for them last year and we get to now.
I pretty much think the same thing. I do like cheering for both, and it is a lot of fun learning how the girls are progressing and seeing them progress.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a new thing for you guys this year, is getting to kind of split the team up a little bit and have, sometimes you have girls and boys wrestling different locations or different things on the same day. How does that working for you guys? Because it looks like you guys got about 10 or so members out. Is that right?
Yes.
What's that experience like maybe on a Saturday when girls are going one way and boys are going to another place?
So we would split up the squad, and half of us would go to the girls and the other half would go to the boys. But we flip-flop every week.
Okay.
So it would be like whoever's cheering for girls, the next week they're cheering for boys, and vice versa.
Gotcha.
When it comes to that, the squads are never the same, so you're cheering with a different group of people every meet or every week, and so you just get a lot of opportunity to see something new and to cheer with new people,
Right.
and it's very fun. And we have a chaperone that takes us with girls wrestling, who is Brinley Ellsbury, who is
Nice.
Maylee and Autumn Ellsbury's mother,
Yeah.
and Chris goes with us for the boys' meets.
Awesome. The 2 tournaments that you've been at with the girls' side so far have been pretty big. I think 32 teams were at that Nevada meet, and it was a long day, I understand. What is the challenge of having to get through a full Saturday where you're starting first thing in the morning and you're not done until probably it's dark outside? What's that experience like?
Personally, I think it's very fun.
Yeah, maybe a little challenging. So.
There definitely are some challenges, like when you're able to eat, when you're able to take a break, like, because it's go, 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 go. Yeah.
It is very much an all-day thing, so sometimes when we're cheering back to back to back, because we always have to watch who's in the hole on the mat and who's up next, and
Right.
so we are always staying there and always making sure we know when our wrestlers are coming up. Sometimes we will have people that stay in the gym while other people go and take a break, and then we will swap, and it's a thing where we need everyone there so that everyone can have a good time.
Yep. Do you have any favorite cheers, thinking about the different things that you have on your lineup of cheers that you do? Anything that's a favorite this season so far?
Definitely Shannon's.
Okay, tell us about it.
It's an add-in cheer, and basically we start all together, and then we start all together, then we stop and we add in by one.
Oh, nice.
And then at the end, there's someone that does it very slow, and then we all add back in together.
Nice. A favorite for you, Lily?
That is
Same one?
probably, it's one of my favorites for
Okay.
sure, and all of us like it very much because we're good at it and we call it a lot, so we're doing it quite often on the mat. And probably another one of mine is W, and it's just where you spell out wrestle and you do some movements with it, but it's very fun.
Yeah. What do you find is the most challenging part of being on the wrestling cheer team, whether it be practicing at a dual meet, at a Saturday tournament? What are the challenges that go into it?
Very good question.
I would say some of the challenges that go into that are knowing what you're doing, paying attention to the wrestlers. Like, definitely track wrestling is something that saves us a lot.
So you guys on your phones kind of looking and seeing, or just maybe on the scoreboards at the
Yes.
venues? Yeah.
Doing those two things really helps us. Or when they announce who's on deck, who's in the hole, like, we really need to pay attention to that. And sometimes, like, you could be, like, watching a match and not hear what's going on. So that's something that could be challenging.
Nice.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of just, it's not necessarily a challenge. It's just one of those things you have to very much pay attention to is when your wrestler's coming up. And sometimes you're on the mat cheering for a wrestler, and on a different mat, like halfway across the gym, there's another match going that just started, and then you break up, and then you have people doing both. So it's paying attention to all mats and all wrestlers and making sure that you get to where you need to go on time.
All right. Well, thank you, girls, very much for the time. Exciting to see a good group out for wrestling cheer this year. Best of luck to you and the rest of the cheer team, and we'll hope to catch up with you again later, maybe in the season.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much.
All right, welcome back live from the STC Roundhouse. Darvin Graham and George Cuter with you. Some unofficial halftime stats for us here, George.
Unofficial halftime stats. Owen Teemlin for Benton Community has 6 points. Gavin Brooks has 3 points. One of the 3-pointers, and they're good. I noticed looking through the stat sheet, they're a good 3-pointer shooting team. They, if they're not going to get close to the basket with Bridgewater, they're going to take their 3-pointers. Ryan Spina has 5. Render Nick, is that at 10 points? And Colby Wenger has 3 for the South Tama County Trojans. The hot hand right now belongs to Emerson Bridgewater. He's got 12 at halftime. Kay Rosenberger has 10. He's got 2 3-pointers and 2 field goals. Tommy Tynisma has 4, Daniel Weiss has 2, and that's the Trojan scoring. And the bulk of things are coming from the starting 5.
Absolutely.
It's going to be, they're going to, Coach Harrison is going to ride this horse. The one thing that bothers me, it gets to me the most is getting Bridgewater. He needs to be careful. He can't get himself in foul trouble early.
Right.
And that's in the locker room. That's what Benton Community talked about, is seeing if you can't get Emerson Bridgewater in a little bit of trouble where he's going to have to sit on the bench.
Yep.
Because they don't have anybody of that massive size.
And that depth becomes a problem.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. We're seeing a very similar situation to the Clear Creek Amana game where South Tama only played 6 players deep. Brandt was the only one off the court. Or what are we doing here? We got our wrong end of the court. Okay.
The arrow was incorrect.
And so when you look at the box score comparisons between South Tama, Clear Creek Amana had 3 kids coming off the bench, 1 scored into double figures. And that, South Tama, I think, had 2 points off the bench. And that might have, be the difference in the game.
It's a key factor. It's tough. The depth of this, we're not there yet. We've got a lot of seniors. But not a lot of experience. If that makes sense with these kids that were sat out for 3 years.
Daniel Weiss fires from outside. 3-pointers off the mark. Gilbert the rebound. Here come the Bobcats. They're back on with their same starting 5.
And I think they're going to be they got to talk at halftime about being aggressive and keeping the pace up. And they're going to go a little bit, Coach Carlson's going to go a little bit deeper when it comes to that.
A block there by Cade Rosenberger on Carson Nolan that drove into the lane and goes out of bounds. Last touch by South Tama. good defensive effort there by Rosenberger, just kind of standing tall in the lane, being smart.
He's just really matured as a ball player from last year to this year. You can see it.
Yep,
in him.
the confidence is there.
The aggressiveness.
And Quincy Gilbert finds the bottom of the net from the right side. First points of the second half. And Bobcats are within 1 now. They go to Bridgewater at the elbow. And now all the way back out to Daniel Weiss. He cuts in, back out to Rosenberger.
They need to be cognizant of the plain and simple fact that it is a 35 seconds is a long time.
Right.
You can move the ball around a lot in 35 seconds, and that's what they're going to have to do is to get it into Bridgewater so he can use his size and his strength, and they're going to have to come to him. They're going to have to come out on him.
South Tama's going to have 4 seconds on the, well, no, hold on here. No, they get a fresh shot clock. Okay.
Did they
fresh shot clock, apparently.
Hit the rim?
It must have.
Okay.
I don't know. Missed shot and a turnover to the Bobcats. They're back in their half court. Render necked. Pass goes off the leg of Rosenberger, picked up by Chumlin. Winger now guarded by Bridgewater. Nolan back into the lane, kicks it out. Winger for 3 in the corner. Airballs it. Loose ball.
Yep.
And Tynisma steps out of bounds.
It's a good idea. Just got to be aware of where your feet are.
It remains with the Bobcats. They've got 10 seconds on the shot clock here, though. So we'll have to be cognizant of that. Rinderneck for 3. It's good.
It's good.
So Benton Community kind of heating up, carrying that 3-point heat into the second half here. And that takes the first lead, really, since the early part of the first quarter. There's a steal in the half court.
Daniel Weiss got a hand on it. Luckily
did not get called for a foul there.
Right. Underneath, he had that up underneath.
And it'll stay with the Bobcats off of that steal. Inbound to Gilbert. There, Gilbert gets the foul call as Tynisma got a hand in. First personal for Tommy Tynisma.
We need to be careful because coming out of the half in the last couple of minutes, it's been Benton Community has been dictating the pace.
Yeah.
And you can't, if we're going to stay in this game, Benton Community can't.
Yeah, South Tama's really got to kind of be deliberate here in the third quarter as Quincy Gilbert makes 1 of 2 to take a 3-point lead here. Rosenberger through a double team. And now outside
Just be patient.
To Daniel Weiss.
It doesn't have to go in all the time.
And Tynisma spin move in the lane. Jumper is off the mark.
It's being forced.
Right.
And you can't, we need.
There's a 3 by Winger. It's no good. Rosenberger corrals the rebound.
Get the confidence
Fast break
back.
up to Tynisma, tipped loose. Bridgewater, and another offensive foul.
He's careful.
Good awareness there by Colby Winger.
Yes.
I think there was a little bit of, there was definitely contact there, but Winger knew how to sell it, and credit to him on that defense.
3 on him.
Yep.
Emerson needs to be patient. Again, this is not a position that he's been in a lot, and these seniors and juniors for Benton Community can kind of get him off his game and get him frustrated a little bit.
Carson Nolan into the lane. He draws a foul.
Yep.
And so the Bobcats looking refocused here in this second half. They come out kind of with a mission, and they've tightened things up down low, and they've gotten more aggressive on offense. Carson Nolan for 2 shots. Jeremy Dolash calling for the foul. I believe. Was it Brandt?
Yep,
okay. Brandt for the foul.
And
Nolan
this
good.
And this
on the
is
last
where
one.
you get yourself in a little bit. You've got to be patient.
Rosenberger gets a double team.
Okay.
And a foul called. Non-shooting foul.
Pass came in, threw across. So he tried to, yep. Yeah.
So Winger gets called for the foul. That's his second. And a timeout called.
30-second timeout. This is a nice timeout. You got Weiss. You have Weiss and Bridgewater on the bench. It's a nice timeout. We're still in this thing. It's only 5 points. And we've seen that we can make up this 5 points pretty quickly.
Oh, yeah.
Simple and easy. But the one thing we have to be careful of is getting the ball in there and get it. James was open, and it was just a little bit high. He needs to get off his feet.
Yep.
He needs to get off his feet because of that cutting across like that. It's Rosenberger is going to be, he's savvy enough, he's smart enough to see it, but it's got to happen. It's got to be fast.
Same group coming out of the timeout. Rosenberger, Tynisma, Weiss, Brandt, and Dolash. Emerson Bridgewater on the bench with 3 fouls. Starting 5 still on the court here for Benton Community. Inbound to Tynisma, and he throws it away.
Exactly.
Looking for Rosenberger, and it goes out of bounds. Some frustration on the faces here of the South Tama starting 5, and Winger, Rinderneck both go to the bench for Spina and Brooks. Nolan gets it up to
somebody's going to
Brooks
take
in the corner, and now Chumlin will hit the brakes here a little bit to Gilbert. 4:15 on the clock. South Tama just trying to hang on here. Nolan goes right to the body of Jeremy Dolash.
Get your hands on the ball.
Good offensive rebound here by Benton Community. Chumlin tries a 3, airballs it. Dolash. And looks like just the whistle there from the shot clock violation.
Shot clock violation, turn it over to South Tama, but that's, they're using the full 35.
Yep.
That's a biggie.
Weiss into a double team, stops the dribble, gets it to Rosenberger. Dolash kind of has nowhere to land there. A good look from Brandt, and he ties up. A jump ball is called.
There you go.
As James Brandt gets tangled up with Gavin Brooks.
I think that's one of the things that James needs to do. He's kind of he is a little bit indecisive at times like that.
Right.
But getting that physicalness, kind of get him torqued off a little bit, maybe get him mad.
Well, and it's tough because he's kind of out of position. He's a sort of a defensive 2 guard, and he's asked to be, playing the 4 right now.
And just nice block by Dolash.
Yeah, Dolash on the defense against Brooks.
Hey, watch your arm.
Daniel Weiss up the sideline, getting it to Rosenberger. He's got nowhere to go.
He's down underneath the line of the Giants, and it's a foul. 2 shots.
Brandt draws the foul.
Okay.
And we'll go to the line. Trojans haven't scored here in a little while either. Brandt for 2 shots here. First one is good.
Okay.
First point of the night comes at the free throw line for James Brandt. He'll have one more shot here. Foul was on number 15, Carson Nolan, his second personal. Brandt good on both.
Okay. We'll take that. Put him on the bench, give him some jalapeno peppers, get him fired up a little bit. Let's go.
Chumlin and Spina almost thrown away down low to Gilbert. He picks it up. Brooks tries a 3. Short on the 3-pointer.
Nice rebound. Go. Just go. Go. I think Coach Harrison is down here waving his arms. He wants the guys to go a little bit faster. Maybe if you pick up this pace, some of these bigger guys.
And this is where you'd really like to have Bridgewater with these 2 substitutes that are in. Benton gives up some size with Winger on the bench. They'd love to be able to capitalize on that here, but can't give up the 4th foul either. And
Gilbert's playing a little bit timid. He's not the offensive Well, there he is. See, there it is. I'm
Gets
done.
an open lane, and,
Nope.
and Quincy Gilbert for 2.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut from now on. I can't. So every time I say something about him being silent or
Right.
somebody missing, the first game, Townsley can't hit a 3.
Right, 2 3-pointers right there. And Bridgewater's getting ready to check in here, so we'll see him here in a moment with just about 2 minutes to go left in the third quarter. Tynisma into traffic.
And they keep this
It
tight.
out. And Weiss kind of
got away with a
stumbles
travel.
in there.
And you got a hold on Dolash. Okay.
Dolash gets the contact. That's where you got to look, I think. I mean, you don't have the length advantage down there, but he's a strong body and can kind of go through the contact as Bridgewater will come in to spell Dolash.
And I like the fact that he can throw an elbow down. He can throw a shoulder down and move some guys out of the way.
Rinderneck comes in for Carson Nolan. Inbound pass tipped out of bounds. Stays with the Trojans. Just under 2 minutes. Bobcats with a 5-point lead. It was South Tama leading by 2 at the end of the first half, and this has been the Bobcats' quarter here in the third. 3-pointer for Rosenberger. It's good,
There it is.
right, with a hand
That's
in
what
his
you
face.
need. Yep.
Big senior leadership moment right there.
Yeah. I was just about to say, we haven't scored very many points since halftime. That's Gavin Brooks with a
Timely
easy
bucket.
layup.
Yeah.
To keep them up 4. Just be patient. You have your time, and there it is.
2-pointer
He's
is
got the
good for
spot.
Rosenberger.
He's got your spot. You said that. He's got that 4 to 5 footer,
Yep.
and he's got the touch to do that now.
The Trojans got to be careful here in this transition game. Rinderneck for 3. It's off the mark. Good rebound by Brandt.
And that's where his aggressiveness needs to come in. He's got that. Get that backside up in the air.
Open look for Daniel Weiss from 3. It's not there. Out of bounds. Benton ball.
No.
Tough look there.
Okay.
Trojans with just under a minute here, trying to tie this thing back up. Need a big defensive stop here. There's a steal right in the half-court area. Daniel Weiss into the lane.
Nice.
Bridgewater comes kind of flying in, kicks it out to Rosenberger for 3. No good. And Quincy Gilbert comes up with the rebound. A good effort there by the Trojans.
Yeah.
But they kind of come up dry.
Well, the more you can have those flurries, and even if you don't come away with baskets, it's using up clock.
Another steal by Daniel Weiss. Got right into the breadbasket of Owen Chumlin. Trojans back into the transition game here. And Rosenberger kind of puts the brakes on with 14 seconds.
We have time. Take your final shot.
Daniel Weiss going to the left. Stops the dribble against Gilbert to James Brandt. And Brandt's going to go for it. It's good.
Nice.
James Brandt, his first field goal of the game, ties it back up. Whoa! That would have been good. My goodness. That was a three-quarter court shot there. That went through after the buzzer sounded. We're not going to care about that. South Tama tied it up with 1 second left. And James Brandt
the last 2 minutes of that quarter he came to life a little bit. So we're in good shape. This is going to be a very interesting 8 minutes of see what happens if we can get if you can get a couple of these guys hot. If we get truly honestly, if you get a roll like we had in the first quarter where we can get up by a few points, I think South Tama could run away, because the idea behind it is to get Benton off their game. South Tama just needs to learn these games. They need to learn how to close these games. And you got to be careful, but you have to be. If you're Emerson Bridgewater, you've got to be careful. If he picks up a 4th foul, he's going to have to sit, because they're going to take it, and that's just probably what Coach Carlson said. He's just take it.
Right, get right into him.
Take it right at him.
Trojans will start with the ball here in the fourth quarter. Tie ball game, 37-all. And a low-scoring affair here at the Roundhouse. Daniel Weiss goes in. Misses. James Brandt comes down with the rebound. Now to Bridgewater. Against Winger, outside to Weiss. He cuts in right from that same side. Bank shot, it's good.
Yep.
Daniel Weiss for 2. Back in front here, South Tama trailed the whole way through the third quarter almost. And Daniel Weiss puts them back up by 2 here. South Tama crowd getting a little more active. There's a steal again. Let's see if Tynesma can finish it off underneath the basket. Tommy Tynesma.
Lordy Lucy, and that's what you need. That's the kind of thing that Benton doesn't want to have to happen.
And that's a timeout called by Coach Carlson and the Bobcats. South Tama feeling good here, but this is a long quarter. This is going to be a long 7 minutes.
You still have 7 minutes, and these guys, you don't want to get too high.
Yep.
You got to be very, very careful. Benton Community is going to have the ball coming out here. You know, Coach Carlson is going to look right at him and he's going to say, just be patient. You shot yourselves back into this once already.
Yep.
You can do it again. You don't have to get all this. You don't have to get 4 points back in the next 5 seconds.
Right.
You're not going to be able to do that. So let's just play patient and see what's going to happen. And I like the enthusiasm that South Tama has right now. But we've got to control it a little bit. And if we control it a little bit, we're going to be in good shape.
And this Bobcat, the boys team, it's a double header that they have against Waverly Shellrock tomorrow. Girl boy double header. So they've got to come back after this one tonight, however it goes, and be ready to play a non-conference game tomorrow. And then they've got a Tuesday, Friday slate again next week.
And they've got to win this one first.
Yeah.
That's their focus has got to be on this. They can't think that this South Tama team is going to give them a little bit of a push.
Bobcats with the ball. Out of this timeout. Chumlin, Winger, Nolan, Rendernecht, and Gilbert. The starting 5 on here. James Brandt currently in for Jamer Dolash. And let's see, a foul called.
Who would call a foul on?
I think it might have been on Weiss. Yep, Daniel Weiss picks it up. Yep.
I didn't see that one.
First personal for Daniel.
They call that in the NFL, just keep the flag in your pocket on that one. They kind of both were blaming, smacking each other around like that.
Gilbert into a double team outside to Nolan. He goes into the lane.
Let him take that shot.
And his shot's off the mark. It stays.
No.
And they're going to say that was touched by Tynesma. They've had a couple of those underneath there. It'll be Bobcat ball. And Jeremy Dolash in now.
James Brandt's going to go to the bench, and he's going to think about what he's done. He's done his job.
Yeah, really good third quarter from him.
There you go.
Nolan into the lane, and a steal by Chumlin gets the ball back to the Bobcats. And now a foul. Tynesma called for contact against Carson Nolan. Sends Nolan to the line.
That's his second. So we're all of a sudden got to be we've got to be careful.
Yeah, 2 quick fouls. You don't want to get into that double bonus situation here. And Nolan misses on the first.
We'll take that one.
Yeah.
That's anytime they're going to be, and that's part of being forced. Miss the second one.
Nolan misses on the second one.
Okay,
Dolash recovers, and the Trojans kind of escape here a little bit.
Do something to get out of his face. You can't.
They get it to Bridgewater. He's got a double team,
back out.
And he's going to keep it. It goes off the foot of a Bobcat defender there.
That was a tit for tat. We got that one back.
Yeah.
Because I think Emerson dribbled it off his foot.
I think so too. Trojans with the ball underneath their own hoop. Rosenberger looking for somebody. Quickly gets it to Tynesma near half court. Rosenberger guarded by Chumlin. They go right back to Weiss, and he charges through traffic and puts one down. Daniel Weiss, 4 points in the second half, and they've come at very opportune times.
Exactly.
43-37. This Bobcat team can hit threes. They've done it tonight. So South Tama cannot rest on anything going down the stretch here. A miss by Quincy Gilbert, and the rebound for Tynisma. Here come the Trojans. They go up for Dolash.
Oh,
And Dolash unable to kind of get away with the alley-oop. Turnover back to the Bobcats. Gilbert gets, that's a tough foul.
That's 4.
That's 4 on Bridgewater, as Gilbert saw he had him one-on-one and draws the foul. So here comes James Brandt back into the game. He'll come in for Bridgewater. And Bridgewater has not
It's
really been negated here in the second half.
Yeah. But everybody stepped up.
Yeah, it's really hats off to the group to kind of keep the ship afloat. They've got 5 minutes to go here. Big juke move there by Nisma.
Just get it out.
And
there it
Weiss
is.
fires
3.
again from 3. It's good. Daniel Weiss buries a 3, and South Tama leading 46-39.
Okay.
Here come the Bobcats quickly up the court.
Make them move fast.
Be careful there with Rosenberger.
Nice.
Almost stolen away. Nolan up and banks one in. And the timeout called by the Bobcats as they narrow the lead to 5. Got a game here at the Roundhouse. It's a fun one.
Yes, we do.
This has been a fun back and forth. And South Tama's got to feel good about the way they've been able to compete in the WAMAC this year.
I think it is it's been kind of a, I don't know if rejuvenation.
Yeah.
Maybe fresh blood.
Yeah.
Fresh ideas and a fresh aggressiveness. Maybe the offense. I don't know what to exactly how it's been working out, but the kids seem to be like, look at them. They've been playing hard for this whole game, and they still got Daniel Weiss standing out there. He's still got a smile on his face.
Oh yeah,
and it's just something about it. It's not, that we haven't seen in a while. Where we've had one person we have to rely on.
Yep.
They have a bad night, we're in trouble.
Yep. Out of the timeout, South Tama leading by 5, 46-41. Trojans with the ball. Emerson Bridgewater still on the bench with 4 fouls. James Brandt had a nice third quarter. He's working here down low for the Trojans. Rosenberger gets
nice
loose, open shot.
There it is.
And a good effort by Jeremy Dolash to keep the possession alive. And here you start to look at the clock a little bit. It's not much of a lead, but each possession kind of critical. Weiss into the lane, can't get the shot to go. It gets his own rebound.
And it's the first 35 seconds every time he does that. So the thing about it is you need somebody to take it to the hole where Bridgewater would have. And Weiss Dolash being kind of pushed around a little bit by Wegner.
Tynisma almost lost his footing there. He gets it to Rosenberger. Long 3 for Cade Rosenberger. He's got 4 3-pointers tonight. And now South Tama leading by 8. Kobe Winger back in.
Careful.
To the paint. South Tama comes out of that one unscathed. They get the rebound off the miss by Winger.
Jeremy Dolash is underneath the Benton basket, daring them to come into him.
And nobody really with foul trouble on the Benton side.
No. And they're going to.
And
That's
foul
a
called
hold
against Chumlin, I think. Yep.
See?
He's got 2. Quincy Gilbert would come in for Carson Nolan. Bridgewater checks in for Brandt. So South Tama back in with their starting 5. And Bridgewater can only give one more foul, or has no more fouls to give.
And he
goes
fouled.
right to the rim, draws a foul, and Emerson Bridgewater to the line.
Wegner.
Yeah, Colby Winger.
So the thing about it is that, what? Get him in here. Bounce it around a little bit.
Winger with 3, and Bridgewater misses on the first.
Okay. typical big man. You know, with the struggling with the free throws, but if he hits 1 or 2, he's 50%. There
Good
it is.
on the second one.
Okay.
Mission Bridgewater gets his first points of the second half with 2:57 on the clock in the fourth.
And we've survived.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
that's the big thing the Trojans need to take away from this.
Gavin Brooks into the lane, drops one in for 2. He's been a key player off the bench for Benton Community
Yes, he
tonight.
has.
They've gotten some shooting from him and Spina. And they've got that benefit of having a little more depth. Daniel Weiss guarded by Gilbert. Out
Swing
to
it out.
Tynisma.
Take it. Oh. Emerson
And
Bridgewater, if he would have
Bridgewater,
spun the
spin
other
move.
way. There you go.
Really nice looking shot there by Emerson Bridgewater. Moving his defender around
Yeah.
and just kind of knowing where the body was going to be.
They got to be careful here because if they get hot from 3,
Right.
you could be in a little bit of trouble.
Chumlin against Rosenberger, loses the handle, a steal. And
Thank you.
they've had trouble getting things
They
kind of
have.
disrupted in this
there you
half
go.
court. Under 2 minutes now. Trojans.
Chemlin's being very aggressive.
Yeah.
No.
Rosenberger's going to be called for traveling, but I like to see the kind of the pressure that's getting put on Benton here, and they're rushing.
Right, and that turnover started underneath the Benton basket. Chemlin hit the ground, and he got real aggressive, and he got up and shoved Daniel Weiss to the back and came over and then just ran right at Cade, and Cade probably thinking that maybe he was going to go to the basket and take a shot, just moved his foot.
Yep.
And that's one of those things that you have to watch out to is temperament with these guys.
Yep.
And just keep a nice, calm, cool head. And then
play, you're looking at a 9-point lead here. South Tama's got to play with that kind of confidence that you've earned that lead here in this fourth quarter, and not act like you've got to make up the 9 points.
Right.
And you're in that other driver's seat here.
And like you said in the first half, South Tama has not had a lot of experience leading late in games. They're a good comeback team.
Yep.
They're a very good comeback team. And this is one of those things you talk about. We talked to Coach Dorn about it. We've talked to Coach Pesca about it. We talked to coming from behind is one thing. Learning how to win is another. Learning how to play with the lead. Those types of things. And that's where you get worried with a team like South Tama, because the experience when they're starting to gel like they have tonight, this is where they can take a lot out of this if they were to get a win.
All right, here's Gavin Brooks for
Short.
3. Misses
Rebound.
off the back, off
Look
the
at
front
that.
of the rim. Daniel Weiss.
Timeout.
And, oh, my
No,
goodness.
he called
Weiss,
a timeout.
Weiss is called for traveling. And the ref not going to award South Tama the timeout there. It was called, but
I don't know how he got that. That's
just a tough turnover there for the Trojans.
He was standing right in front of the ref calling timeout, and he just ignored him.
South Tama's got to refocus here. Chumlin into the lane.
This way.
And
South Tama ball.
South Tama ball.
That's a makeup call.
Yeah. Weiss kind of
He was not in a very good position to call that travel because he had Cade standing right in front of him.
Yep. Minute and a half to go. South Tama working with a 9-point lead and a timeout call.
Maybe that's a good timeout with the ball at half court.
Yeah. Let
Sit
Daniel
down.
kind of recalibrate a little bit and make sure you know what you're doing here.
Kind of got a little frustrated on that last series. Luckily, they didn't come away with point.
Yeah. And the 9 points here with a minute and a half starts to become increasingly important. As you can control your possession. You have the opportunity to control the clock and your possessions and
use all 28 seconds they've got on the clock. They're under a minute. If Benton Community rushes South Tama and they miss, they're 2 possessions.
Yeah.
They're 2 shots from being right back in this game. And you don't want to pay, as young and as inexperienced as South Tama is with the lead, you don't want to push them to panic.
Nope.
That's a
Weiss with the
smart
ball in
move.
the backcourt,
And see,
and he draws a foul against Gilbert.
and they're going to have to start fouling.
Yep.
They've got 2 fouls, so they have essentially 3 to give if you believe in that.
Rosenberger to inbound. Gets it to Ty Nisma in the far corner.
Oh,
And no foul call
I don't
there.
think
And
you can
there's
do
the
that.
foul call finally.
Yep.
Brooks whistled against Rosenberger. And that
that's
brings
what
it to 4.
And that's what they're going to do.
Rosenberger gets it to the far backcourt to Dolash.
And that was a smart move. Cade called for that all on his own. He's going to call a timeout. He's kind of 30 seconds. And I like this in the last minute where you have him. One thing I've always liked about Cade Rosenberger, he's a lot like his dad. He's nice and calm.
Yeah.
He doesn't get flustered. He wants to put the ball in his hands. He's the kind of a guy, he reminds me of one of those field goal kickers.
Yeah.
And you just give me the ball, and you need 3 points at the end of the game.
Yep. Kind of in a different world mentally,
Yes.
it seemed like. Just sort of right there.
And that's
he's got that disposition about him for sure.
that's the varsity experience. That's playing last year and being a leader and struggling and having a rough year.
Yep.
Those types of things that builds character. And they got 30 seconds. They can wind this down if they need to. But you know that Benton Community is going to be very aggressive because they've got 1 foul to give.
Yeah. Minute 7, South Tama with the ball in the far backcourt here. They're need to make sure they don't turn it over here either and allow a quick bucket for the Bobcats as they got their whole team kind of back on
That's a foul.
defense. There's a foul.
Okay, so there's your foul.
So now we go to the line with the 5 team fouls forcing a double bonus situation. So 2 shots coming here for Cade Rosenberger. And that's exactly who South Tama wants to have the ball here in this situation.
Exactly. Put yourself up by 11.
Good on the first.
There's 10. Okay. When you get this one, then philosophy changes for Benton Community. Now they have to be really aggressive. Oh,
Rosenberger misses on the second. Gilbert the rebound. Minute to go.
somebody got him in the corner.
Gilbert three-pointer.
Yep.
Airballs it. Dolash comes up with the rebound.
And he just needs to be tough.
And South Tama doing a good job of moving the ball here.
Oh!
And a push called against the Bobcats.
That was a mistake.
Maybe a
Gavin Brooks wanted to commit the little foul, and he gave the nice shove. So that's an intentional. So South Tama gets to 2 shots.
2 shots
and
and
the ball.
Yeah, that's critical here.
That may have not been the best. He may not have intended to do it, but frustration gets the better of you sometimes. There you go.
Rosenberger good on the first. And good on 2 free throw shots.
Which makes me
Cade
think
Rosenberger 3 of 4 there down the stretch in this last 30 seconds. Go ahead, sorry.
I was wondering if maybe that last 2 free throws that he shot 30 seconds ago, he didn't try and miss the second one on purpose.
Yeah. Another foul on Rosenberger. He's going back to the line. And South Tama's just really done a nice job of controlling the clock here.
The pace.
Yeah. Got to feel good about how they've executed it down the stretch. And they're feeling good that you can see the tension kind of coming off of them a little bit as they're looking at the clock and looking at the lead.
This will be point number 22 if he makes it. Darn it. Seriously going to start keeping my mouth shut.
Gilbert for 3, and he puts one down with a hand in his face, and the timeout called by the Bobcats. So the 3 by Gilbert narrows it to 10, but they've got 39 seconds to work with. And South Tama looking down the barrel of a win here. Last time the Bobcats have got a 5-game win streak going on against South Tama. The Trojans got a win in 2021 against Benton Community. And then there was another 5-game win streak before that. So in the last 5 years, Benton Community is 10-1 against South Tama.
And it's always been, look at some of the wins that we've had. We got Center Point and we got Vinton Shelburne.
Yeah.
Tonight, if we walk away with this win in this game, we've kind of had beaten some teams that have kind of dominated us in the last couple of years.
Yep.
We in the WAMAC and things like that. And that's one of those things, knowing that we have to go back and play some of these teams again.
Right.
Vinton here next week.
Right.
Going down to Grinnell, we can get some revenge on Grinnell. I can't remember what the score.
It was not particularly close. The Grinnell score.
Yeah. And that's one of those.
It was 59-33
Okay,
was our
yeah,
last
there
game.
I see it right there. It's those things. But think about it. I mean, some of the games that we've been in, even it's Independence, Grinnell, Marion.
The Independence game could have been a lot closer.
Yeah.
We were not at our best in that night, and we're going to get them at home, next time around. And we get all these 3 teams that, if South Tama comes away with a win here tonight, the 3 teams they've beaten, they're going to see one more time, and you really got to like that position they could be in going into their playoff game, and that's got to be the
momentum. Yeah,
just being able to maybe put together a couple of more wins and then, not have to go into an 8 seed situation, come district time. Tommy Tynisma good on the first free throw.
And that's the nice part about it. That's the nice part about it, is getting a little momentum. December, it's nice to win in December.
Yeah.
And to get off to a good start, but to finish hot is really important.
And here's a 3-pointer by Gavin Brooks. It's no good.
Okay,
South
be
Tama.
careful.
Got about 30 seconds left.
They have to foul us.
And they're not.
It's over.
Yeah.
It's over. Take the 3. No.
And South Tama's going to they're going to cede the victory here.
It's the enthusiasm of the crowd, too. Student sections is up. I believe we'll win. All that. The 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Trojans win.
South Tama gets
South
their
Tama wins.
3rd win of the season. Gosh, when was the last time we won a Jam the Gym night? That feels good to have a good home crowd here. Good student section. The pep, the whole 9 yards kind of comes together tonight.
It's the enthusiasm of the night.
Yeah.
And that's, what we're going to do. Hey, let's do this. We'll take it into Grinnell on Tuesday.
Right.
And then bring it back home. We can go on a little run here. There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
The way that they played, I'm proud of him. James Brandt stepped out of the shadows tonight.
Big 3rd quarter from James Brandt.
And he had to step up.
Yeah.
He had to step up to keep us in the game. So good for him.
So South Tama moves to 3-5 overall, and they hand Benton Community their 7th loss of the season. They move to 4-6. The Bobcats will have to be ready to go again tomorrow night. They host Waverly Shell Rock in Van Horn. Then they host Williams. That's a tough stretch here. They're going to have Williamsburg, Waverly Shell Rock, Williamsburg on Tuesday, and they're kind of the top of the WAMAC West right now. And then at Clear Creek Amana on Friday. So a tough stretch for the Bobcats. And really nice win here for South Tama. Coach Harrison, Coach Gates, and Coach Weiss got to feel good about where this puts them. And we're going to step aside for a brief moment, tally up some stats. We'll be back with a quick wrap-up. Thanks for being with us here on Trojan Country. Nice closing set here from the STC Pep Band.
You
And
got to love Wipeout.
yeah.
Get yourself all kinds of excited. Could you imagine being a drummer in a band and you can't play Wipeout?
Oh, man. Yeah, that's a tough spot to be in for sure. For sure.
Bruce Springsteen tells a story, and then when he's on Broadway, it's about his buddy who's the drummer.
Yeah.
Best drummer in the world, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
couldn't play Wipeout. That's the reason he didn't make it big. If you set yourself and you set your life on goals, whether or not you can play Wipeout, you're living a good life,
Yep.
man.
Yep. All right, some
Ready?
unofficial post-game stats here for the STC Trojans, getting their 3rd win of the season and a 3rd WAMAC win, too. You know, that's a quality win here.
It is.
Their, wins against CPU and who am I missing? Oh, my goodness.
CPU and Vinton
Shellsburg, yeah, almost getting a win. I think that 3-point loss to Clear Creek Amana 2 nights ago played into this one as almost as much as anything else.
Yeah.
You gave them the confidence,
right.
to kind of be here and be ready to go and go ahead and take it away with some stats here.
Playing close to the teams that you play close to.
Yeah.
They've beat you. They've beaten you before.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can play close to them, that's going to give you the shot of confidence you need. For Benton Community, we've got Owen Chumlin,
Yep.
6 points. No points in the second half. We have Gavin Brooks, 7 points, 3 points in the second half. Ryan Spina, 5 points. Rindernick, 11 points in the game, 1 point in the second half. So the defense for the Trojans played really, really, really well. Wegner, 3 points. Nolan, 4 points. And Quincy Gilbert wound up with 10 points, all of them in the second half. He played a really good second half.
He kind of carried things for the Bobcats in the second half.
Really tried to play Superman. Didn't work, but he tried. He did the best he could with that. For your victorious South Tama County Trojans with 21 points, big points, 21 big points. Cade Rosenberg, Atami Tanisma plus 6. Daniel Weiss, 9. James Brandt had 4 really big scores. His defense coming in, Emerson Bridgewater, when he came in, he got into a jam. James came in, played defense really, really, really well. Emerson Bridgewater had 15. He played well, real well in the first half. Got into a little bit of foul trouble. He wasn't so much of a factor into the game in the second half. I think he only had 3 points in the second half, if I'm right. But his big points coming up, his 12 points coming up in the first half, really set the stage for what needed to be done. And I'm going to tell you this right now, and it's you're never going to see this in the stats because people don't pay attention to these last. But Jeremy Dolash, James Brandt, my players of the game. Just what they did on defense, and just how they brought this back. There was a point in time where standing underneath the Benton basket, he had a look on his face like he dared everybody from Benton Community to come into his neighborhood, and he came in there, he went in there, and he stopped them. He didn't take any grief from anybody. He didn't get too high. He didn't get too low. He's got that nice, even keel, and I think that in the idea that James Brandt stepped out of his skin and became real aggressive tonight when he had to come in and be real aggressive, those things are what's going to take this South Tama team into Grinnell. They're going to play better. I don't know what the outcome is going to be. Vinton Shellsburg.
Winnable game.
Let's see.
Very winnable game.
Can we have an undefeated January? Here.
Got to go play Williamsburg.
Yeah.
That's going to be, that's coming up, and that'll be a tough one for them.
It's going to be. They're all going to be tough.
Yeah.
They're all going to be tough. But now I think South Tama has a little bit of the confidence, and like you said, winning from the front.
Oh yeah, you got to love these wins coming now, and then they have the opportunity to double up.
Right.
Or at least know that you can do, you know that you've been able to do that, and you've got that in your back pocket. Regardless of the outcome, in these second meetings, they're going to go into their playoff game, whoever that matchup is going to be, and that could be one of these teams. You never know. and be ready to go and be, and that's the goal here is to get a playoff win, the first one in what has been a long time. And
it's a mindset, and you're right. It's the mindset of let's win the next game. So it was really impressive to see them come and stretch the lead, and they got down by 5, 6. To see them come back and stretch the lead to 10, and then just kind of keep the pedal down. It was really nice game to watch. It's a really nice start to this post-snow.
Oh yeah,
get
goodness
rid
gracious.
of. Everybody came out of the house. The fans were enthusiastic. The parents were enthusiastic. And we put on a good show tonight. So congratulations to the Trojans, and let's just keep it up and rolling down the road.
You bet. Thanks to our sponsors for this winter season: Berkwood Village of Tama, Toledo, Salt Creek Wind, Mercy Care Tama, Iowa Premium, State Bank of Toledo, Hardin's, S&S Car Wash, Cruzy Phillips Funeral Home, Appraisal and Realty Services, Robbach Lumber, Stein Robbach Floor Covering, Medicap Pharmacy, Mark West and Hoyer Law Office, Assured Partners Insurance, Sharon Weber's, and TFD Photo and Film. All of our Trojan Country broadcasts also made possible by the Charlie Townsley Memorial. Thanks very much for pinch hitting tonight,
hey,
George.
No problem.
Great to have you.
I enjoyed it.
And we got to see a win. That's
the key.
Really nice silver lining here for the Trojans. And we will be back in action next week. Thursday, we have wrestling. Boys will be on the road at Benton Community for a four-team duel. And then on Friday, we have a doubleheader coming again with Vinton Shellsburg coming to town, throwback night. We'll have our dedication of the Trojan Head History plaque here between the two girls and boys games, and a lot of fun stuff coming up. So have a great weekend, everybody.
And go Trojans.
Good night and go Trojans.
Shoot.